Well, to review some of the developments as it's playing out, let's go to Abuja for that. Mapwe?
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. I have with me in the studio Mr. Emmanuel Dibia to comment on what has been happening in the last couple of days in the southeast region. Mr. Emmanuel Dibia is a legal practitioner. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you.
Well, were you apprehensive? Did you share the apprehension of many Nigerians when the Nigerian army said they were going to embark on this Operation Python Dance in the southeast, which is to commence tomorrow?
Well, first and foremost, no government anywhere in the world would watch lawlessness without doing something. No government would do that. I wasn't apprehensive. There's nothing wrong in any security agency wanting to go to a particular region or anywhere to carry out their functions. So I wasn't apprehensive.
Well, some people say that the army is not any security agency. It is the agency in charge of looking after Nigeria's territorial borders and ensuring that the country is safe from external aggressors. But in recent times, we've seen that increasingly they have been deployed to civil matters, internal security matters, which some people say is not the constitutional duty of the Nigerian army. What are your views on this?
The Constitution, the sections of the Constitution that empowers the military to act, it's not ambiguous. This same program yesterday, you read out section 217, subsection 2, B and C. You probably want to read it again. That empowers the military to act under certain circumstances. Now, the military has said that they didn't go to the east because of IPOB. That's fine. That's not the perception of the public. The public says the actions of the military so far depicts or shows that they are there because of IPOB. From both sides, whether the military are there because of kidnappers or armed robbers or because of the activities of IPOB, both actions come under the definition of insurrection.
What do you believe? Because some people will say that kidnapping, armed robbery, definitely is basic criminality. Those are areas that should be directly under the purview of the police.
These are lawlessness. These are Now, first of all, let's take the definition of insurrection. You know, that section of the law I just told you empowers the military to act. So let's define insurrection. Insurrection means civil disobedience, unrest, uprising. So whether it is kidnapping, armed robbery, or some form of agitation that does not conform with prescribed channel. If you have agitation, there are prescribed channels. These are lawlessness that come within the definition of insurrection. And if subsection 2C, that talks about suppressing insurrection, activates the military, then the action of IPOB over time indeed comes within that definition. If the military went to the east yesterday, they went very late. They went too late.
Well, you say that the military says they are not there because of IPOB.
That's what they say.
Now, considering all that has been happening, I mean, all that we have heard has happened so far, do you think that that narrative is correct?
Like I said, you take the position of the military that they are there because of probably kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of lawlessness. When you take that and you take the public perception that probably the military is in there because of IPOB, both sides, like I said, comes within the extensive definition of insurrection. Disorderly situations, uprising, any form of civil unrest comes within insurrection. And that's enough to get the military out there. So, not necessarily because of IPOB, whatever reason, but from both contexts, the military is well within the legal framework to be in the southeast.
Now, some people say that there is the tension right now is palpable, and some people say that if that is the reason you're in the southeast, why don't you just say that is the reason you're there? Otherwise, what this would breed is suspicion, because initially when the military said, oh, they're going to relaunch this, it was very successful the first time, oh, we're going after kidnappers and armed robbers and what have you. Some people say, how high is the rate of kidnapping and armed robbery in the southeast that you want to focus, relative to the rest of the country, that you think that, Operation Python Dance 2 should be relaunched in that particular area? What are you thinking, or what is your thinking in this particular area?
Very well. I have never known the military to lie. And I don't think they are misrepresenting the situation. The military don't talk too much. When they say two things, they probably keep back 5 for security reasons. They have told you why they are out there in the southeast. And like I said, with a combined definition of their own reason and the public perception, they are well within the framework of the law to be in the southeast.
Some of your colleagues don't think that, and from what we've seen, some of them say, they say that this is unconstitutional. According to them, the powers which allow the president under Section 218 of the Constitution to determine the operational use of the armed forces of the Federation, that power is not absolute. According to them, they say that it is qualified by Section 217, which clearly sets forth the situations and conditions for the exercise of that power. The conditions are the defense of Nigeria, the maintenance of territorial integrity, and for suppressing insurrection. And they also think that this should be prescribed by an act of the National Assembly.
I'll take those 2 sections. When IPOB threatens to succeed a section of the country, the southeast and some other areas they have identified, that's more than enough threat to our territorial integrity.
Does the president, sorry to interrupt you, but does the president need the approval of the National Assembly to send the army in that sort of situation? Because this is an internal security matter.
Yeah, this is an internal security matter. The president does not necessarily need the approval of the National Assembly to send he doesn't need the approval of the National Assembly to send the army to the southeast. Again, within the workings of the army, when they have reasonable reasons to be in a place, to deploy within their functions, they will do that. They don't even need to notify the president.